back. And getting clear on a lot of things is important in life. But another thing that a lot of people don't think about as part of their finances is credit and understanding, being really clear on what's on your credit report, what's important on your credit report. We're lucky here to have David Murphy, a good friend of our show, joining us with over 20 years in credit repair. Credit Insider Club's Pacific Northwest leading most experienced credit repair company, is also recognized as one of the most highly respected in the United States. The United States is big. To be respected in is good. Welcome back, David. How are you?
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
I'm doing good, Ben. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, well, you're a big baseball fan, so, I figured, if nothing else, we could, I went to the game yesterday. The Mariners are kind of getting clear on a plan that might be turning into something.
They might win?
They've won a lot.
Hey, I like this kid Thames that they picked up, and they got rid of Steve Delbar. I mean, yeah, he threw in the high 90s, but this kid's got some power.
A big boy. Well, let's get into the credit piece, because as much fun as baseball is to talk about, it's the wrong station. You got to tune into a different station to hear baseball all the time. David, for people to get really clear on their credit, they probably just need to know. Most people are curious about the positive things, but it's really the negative things. I mean, if you had no negatives, your credit would be good. It's avoiding the things that are bad, the negative things on your credit. Let's talk a little bit about how can people get clear on what is going to cause a negative mark on their credit and lower their score?
First things first, they got to get a copy of their credit report. That is the biggest point I make is education. Know what they're going to see when they pull up your credit report. So,
do a lot of people bury their heads in the sand?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They don't want to know.
I mean, it's there.
And the problem with that is that by burying your head in the sand, you're not going to know what they're going to tell you as soon as they pull it up. Okay? We want to prep you ahead of time. Okay? If you're thinking about buying a house, pull up your credit report 6 months in advance.
At least, yeah.
I mean, it's doing a checkup. Mm-hmm. Even if you have perfect credit, do a checkup every 6 months. There's so much identity theft going on that you need to monitor what's going on.
And that really gets you clear on at least your own report. I mean, you don't have to know everything about credit, but at least get you clear on your own report.
An example is an Experian report. If you get a copy of the Experian report from the source, from them, www.experian.com, you pay or you get it for free because you've been turned down. You look in the back, they have a lot more information than they should, meaning you can find your driver's license number, your cell phone numbers, who you've worked for. If you lose that credit report or you put it in the trash, somebody can make a identity on you just like that. They've got your Social Security, they got your date of birth, they got phone numbers, addresses, everything.
So getting that copy is the first piece, but what are the negatives? Because, I mean, the Social Security number, that's not a negative. The phone number, I mean, it is what it is. Your name, birthday, probably are not changing that.
Negatives.
Unless it's, February 29th on leap year, then it might be a little bit of a negative growing up as a kid, but anyways.
Negatives are like late pays, collections, judgments, tax liens, charge-offs, foreclosure, repo, defaulted student loan, bankruptcy, accounts included in bankruptcy. They even used to have divorce in there as a negative.
Really?
That would show up as a public record. So, it really depends how old these negatives are or how new. If you're talking about something that just happened here, August 2012, that is a fresh hit. Parking ticket downtown, Alliance 1, that's going to be a 50-point hit on your credit report. Unpaid or paid, it's still 50 points. My advice is if you've got a collection, pay it off. Zero it out.
So collections is one of those big ones. That's really easy to see. I mean, there's a collection section, right?
Well, it depends which credit report you're pulling up. I mean, TransUnion, Experian generally put the negatives up front. Equifax, it can be filtered, through the entire credit report. If you're purchasing a mortgage report, they may have it open, closed, and derogatory. So it really depends on the format.
So the collections, I mean, that's something to look at. You mentioned late pays and the age of them. I mean, if you missed a payment last month, that's a bigger difference than 2 months or 3 months or 4 months ago even?
I'll tell you, if you've missed a payment within the last year, that has more weight than if it was 3 years ago. Mortgage companies do not want to see any 30, 60, or 90-day lates, and they don't want to see any mortgage lates, period. Big things, foreclosure, repossession, meaning the repo man, whether you took it back to the dealer or whether they came and got it in the middle of the night. For repo is repo. That's a big hit, too. You're not going to be able to buy a new car with a repo on there. You're not going to be able to buy a new house with a foreclosure on your credit report, at least for 2 years.
Yeah. So when you start looking at those, these become really difficult it's a time game, isn't it? I mean, it's
difficult to get off your credit report if it's fresh, because you're not forcing anybody to go down to the basement of the building and dig you up on microfiche or however they keep their records now.
Probably not on microfiche, but I'm just guessing.
And the other thing is, if the item's been paid, then it's not cost effective for them to do the paperwork that we're going to employ.
Mm-hmm.
If you owe them money, they're going to take the 5 minutes to fill out the paperwork and send it back into the credit bureaus, compared to if you satisfied the debt, then it's not cost efficient for them to do the paperwork. They can't generate any more cash flow out of the deal, so it's not worth their time.
What about charge-offs? I mean, maybe explain what is a charge-off, and then how does that affect your credit?
Charge-off is when you have a credit card, bank card, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, and you don't pay that card. And you stop making payments. Eventually, it's going to go 30, 60, 90, 120, and then you're going to have a 4 to 5 month gap, and then they're going to write it off as a bad debt. At that point, your credit is toast. It is a big hit. I mean, it's 75 to 100 points.
And how long is that?
Well, that's going to stay on for 7 years, like everything else. However, at some point, if you're trying to buy a home, they're going to want to see that zeroed out, paid off. They're going to want you to pay off that charge-off prior to buying a home. So sometimes you can, if it's an older debt, you can settle for less than the full balance and get it zeroed out. So if you owe $5,000 and you pay 50 cents on the dollar and you pay it off $2,500, then it's settled for less than the full balance. The mortgage company will say, okay, and you're still not going to get the best rate. You're not going to have a 720 plus credit score with a paid charge-off.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's paid off, you position us to be able to get it deleted off the credit report. It is not impossible, improbable, but not impossible, along with anything else on your credit report.
Well, David, we do have to go to a quick break, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about your credit report and the negatives and positives that go with it. We're talking to David Murphy, Director of Operations, Credit Insider Club, Credit Repair. I'm Ben Brash, and we'll be right back after this break.